आदि से स्टार्ट हुआ था।
Guest of honor, Dr. P.K. Laktakia sir, our very eminent and learned professor, Dr. Dhaneria sir, our other speakers from AIMS Raipur, Dr. Pugazanthan sir and Dr. Vikas sir, and all the delegates who are present in this hall, on the behalf of Government Medical College Satna, I welcome you all to this workshop on good clinical practice and ethical guidelines. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल एक दिवसीय कार्यशाला जो हम अब शुरू करने वाले हैं, कोई भी शिक्षण कार्य हो, सबसे पहले जैसा एक परंपरा रहती है कि हमारे जो इष्ट देवी हैं माँ सरस्वती, उनकी हमको पूजन अर्चना के बाद ही हम किसी शिक्षण कार्य का प्रारंभ करते हैं। तो इस कड़ी में सबसे पहले मैं हमारे गेस्ट, जो हमारे चीफ गेस्ट डॉक्टर गर्ग सर हैं, डॉक्टर लकटकिया सर जो गेस्ट ऑफ ऑनर हैं, हमारे एमिनेंट स्पीकर्स धनेरिया सर, विकास सर, पुगाजंथान सर, मैं आपसे अनुरोध करूंगा कि कृपया आप यहाँ पे माँ सरस्वती के पूजन अर्चना में फूल अर्पण करें।
शंकर प्रभृति देवी सदा वंदिता सा पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेष जाड्यापहा शुक्लां ब्रह्म विचार सार परमा आद्यां जगत् व्यापिनी वीणा पुस्तक धारिणी अभयदां जाड्यान्धकारापहा
सरस्वती की अर्चना के बाद अब हम अपनी कार्यशाला का प्रारंभ करते हैं। जैसा आप सभी लोग जानकारी करना खुद को सम्मानित करने जैसा ही होता है, और इस कार्यशाला के संरक्षक भी हैं। मैं सर्वप्रथम सर आपको आमंत्रित करना चाहूँगा स्टेज पर, और सर को सम्मान करने के लिए मैं आग्रह करूँगा डॉक्टर शर्मा सर को प्रोफेसर फिजियोलॉजी की कृपया वो मंच पर आकर के सर को शॉल और धन्यवाद सर। अब इसी कड़ी में एक अनुरोध करूंगा कि वो कृपया मंच पर आएं और सर को सम्मानित करने के लिए मैं डॉक्टर बनोदे सर को आग्रह करूंगा कि कृपया वो आकर के सर को शॉल और श्रीफल से सम्मानित करें। छात्र डॉक्टर अनुराग जैन सर प्रोफेसर सर्जरी को इनवाइट करूंगा कि सर कृपया सर को आकर के शॉल और श्रीफल से सम्मानित करें। आपको मिलेगा। सर को बहुत से लोग यहाँ पे जो मौजूद होंगे वो अच्छे से जानते हैं। धन्यवाद सर। अब सभी लोगों का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। अब वो हमारे इस कार्यशाला के प्रथम उद्बोधन से सभी को अनुग्रहित करें। डॉक्टर गर्ग सर प्लीज सर।
तो यहाँ आज इस कार्यशाला में आप सबको स्वागत करते हुए मुझे बहुत हर्ष हो रहा है और ये मेरा परम सौभाग्य है कि इतने प्रबुद्ध जो हमारे स्पीकर्स हैं और हमारे टीचर विशेषकर डॉक्टर लटकिया सर जो हमारे इंस्टीट्यूशनल एथिकल कमेटी के चेयरपर्सन भी हैं और इसके पहले जब भी हम सर को आमंत्रित करते रहे हैं सर का आशीर्वाद यहाँ आकर के भी और अदरवाइज भी उनका मार्गदर्शन हमें लगातार मिलता रहा है। और आज के हमारे तीनों जो एमिनेंट स्पीकर्स हैं डॉक्टर धनेरिया साहब, जैसा कहा गया मुझे लगता है कि यहाँ स्टूडेंट तो कोई है नहीं, आप सब डॉक्टर्स हैं, फैकल्टी हैं या हमारे दूसरे कॉलेजेस से भी लोग आए हैं। मुझे लगता है 80% लोग कम से कम तो धनेरिया सर को ज़रूर जानते ही होंगे। ऐसा हो नहीं सकता कि आप मध्य प्रदेश के किसी मेडिकल कॉलेज से आपने कोई शिक्षा ग्रहण करी हो या अदर एक नेशनल फिगर हैं वो, और उनका बहुत बड़ा व्यक्तित्व है। जो लोग नहीं जानते होंगे शायद वो धीरे से जब सर का उद्बोधन होगा तो उस समय निश्चित तौर पर उनको वो झलक मिलेगी। और जैसा कहा गया है कि जो उनके स्टूडेंट रहे होंगे तो आपने देखा होगा प्रोफेसर सर्जरी आते ही एकदम शरणागत हैं, कल से ही सर के उसमें तो ऐसे जो भी छात्र उनके संपर्क में आए हैं उनके जीवन को उन्होंने बहुत बड़े तौर पे प्रभावित किया है। और उनका जब आप देखेंगे कि कहाँ कहाँ उन्होंने काम किया और कैसा वो रहा है, तो कहते हैं कि एक टीचर स्टूडेंट के माध्यम से जाना जाता है। जो स्टूडेंट्स उसको सही तौर पे स्टूडेंट्स ही उसको समझ सकते हैं और रिफ्लेक्ट करते हैं कि कैसा वो होता है। तो ऐसे डॉक्टर धनेरिया सर को मैं बहुत हृदय की गहराइयों से यहाँ स्वागत करता हूँ। सर हमारे एमिनेंट स्पीकर्स डॉक्टर पुगजिन खान साहब जो एम्स रायपुर में रहे हैं और सर के कोलीग रहे हैं आई एम टोल्ड, तो सर यहाँ पे आए हैं और रायपुर से हमारी ये संस्था, मैं इसलिए विशेषकर आपको कह रहा हूँ कि मैं बहुत अनुग्रहित हूँ, बहुत खुश इसलिए भी हूँ। एक तो मेडिकल काउंसिल से हमें 2 क्रेडिट आवर्स मिले हुए हैं इस कार्यशाला के लिए और एक बड़ा अवसर है। कई संस्थान हैं जो आज तक ये गुड क्लिनिकल प्रैक्टिस की वर्कशॉप नहीं कर पाए हैं, फिर भी मुझे कहते हुए ये गर्व भी है कि हम लोगों ने हमारी जो ऑर्गेनाइजिंग टीम की मेहनत और सर लोगों के मार्गदर्शन में ये किया है। तो आज सर को भी हम सुनेंगे। वेलकम सर। डॉक्टर विकास कटियारा दुर्ग मेडिकल कॉलेज में हैं, आपने देखा है सर के कोलीग आई थिंक स्टूडेंट भी रहे हैं। तो वो कल सर जब रात में आए थे तो हम लोगों से बातचीत के दौरान मुझे कुछ ऐसी जानकारी मिली थी। तो सर आप सबका स्वागत है और विशेष रूप से स्वागत है आप सबको जो पार्टिसिपेट्स। मैं समझता हूँ कि हमारा सौभाग्य है कि आज आप लोग यहाँ पर हैं और मुझे लगता है आपको निश्चित तौर पे यहाँ से बहुत जो आपने यहाँ समय दे रहे हैं आज की डेट में, अलग अलग कॉलेजेस से लोग आए हुए हैं। मैं वो आपको विशेष रूप से कह रहा हूँ, लिस्ट में तो मैंने देखा था डॉक्टर अरुणा डॉक्टर ज्योति द्विवेदी आई हुई हैं बायोकेमिस्ट्री के हेड, डॉक्टर उमेश हैं हमारे रीवा से, और तमाम पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट्स हैं, डॉक्टर फार्माकोलॉजी से हमारे पवन हैं। तो ऐसे और दूसरे कॉलेज आई थिंक अनटोल्ड खंडवा से भी, और बांदा मेडिकल कॉलेज से, जबलपुर से कुछ 1-2 पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं। ऐसे 125 से अधिक पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं। मुझे लगता है ये अपने आप में एक सफलता का एक द्योतक है कि हमारी कार्यशाला सफल होने वाली है। और बहुत सारे लोग तो स्पीकर्स के और हमारे जो ऑर्गेनाइजिंग टीम है उनके प्रयास उनको दिखे होंगे कहीं ना कहीं। तो आप लोग आए हैं, आपने ये हम पे विश्वास दिखाया है, और निश्चित तौर पे हम लोग आपको बिल्कुल लेट डाउन नहीं करेंगे। आप जब यहाँ से वापस जाएंगे तो आपको इसकी सार्थकता अवश्य महसूस होगी। और विषय तो निश्चित तौर पे इतना रेलिवेंट है कि इस विषय पर मेडिकल काउंसिल से लेकर के और बाकी जो हम डे टू डे में हम बच नहीं सकते। क्लिनिकल रिसर्च और जो बायोमेडिकल जो हमारा रिसर्च है उसमें क्या है, नेशनल जो एथिकल गाइडलाइंस जारी हुए थे 2017 में, और अदरवाइज ऑल्सो टाइम टू टाइम जो भी इसमें गाइडलाइंस इशू होते हैं तो उनको कैसे हमें पालन करना है लेटर एंड स्पिरिट में, और कैसे हमें इस सबसे महत्वपूर्ण एस्पेक्ट जिस पे कि अब एनएमसी का बहुत फोकस है रिसर्च पे और क्लिनिकल रिसर्च पे, तो उसको एथिकल तरीके से किस तरह से हमें करना है ये। और इसके अलावा अन्य जो टॉपिक्स आपने देखे हैं वो उन पर जो बड़े सारगर्भित होंगे वो आप लोग अवश्य उसका लाभ उठाएंगे। और ये कहते हुए मुझे बहुत हर्ष है, हम लोग बहुत संकोच में थे कि डीएमई साहब को हम लोग बुलाए, हमारे परिवार के मुखिया हैं, पर जैसा कि सर ने अभी कहा था कि मार्च का महीना है अंतिम में, वो बीसीओ हैं हमारे, तो बजट कंट्रोलिंग ऑफिसर हैं पूरे चिकित्सा शिक्षा विभाग के पूरे मध्य प्रदेश के, तो उनके लिए समय निकालना बहुत कठिन है। पर एक और महत्वपूर्ण कार्यक्रम रीवा में था, उसके वजह से उनका आना हुआ, तो हमने कहा अब इस मौके को हम लोग भी लपकते हैं। तो हमने उनसे रिक्वेस्ट किया, और मैं आपको बताते हुए हर्ष है कि वो हो सकता है थोड़ा विलम्ब से आएँ, लेकिन वो आएंगे और अपना आशीर्वाद हमें देंगे यहाँ पे। तो जब भी सर आएंगे तो बीच में हम उनका कुछ देर के लिए थोड़ा उनका उद्बोधन सुनेंगे। और मैं ज़्यादा समय नहीं लूँगा क्योंकि आप लोगों के सामने विषय पे बोलना तो मेरे लिए बिल्कुल, मेरे पैर थरथरा रहे हैं कि मैं उस विषय पे क्या बोलूँ जबकि इतने प्रबुद्ध लोग सामने बैठे हुए हैं। तो पुनः आप सबका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, और ऑर्गेनाइजिंग टीम को विशेष रूप से साधुवाद मेरी तरफ से कि जब उन्होंने इस चीज़ को कहा था, मेरे सामने आए थे, तो हमेशा की तरह मेरे मन में ये होता है कि कैसे मैनेज होगा, फंड्स कैसे अरेंज होंगे, और लोग आएंगे क्या, पार्टिसिपेट करेंगे क्या, सतना कोई क्यों आना चाहेगा अभी। तो ऐसी तमाम जो आशंकाएं जो निराधार थी पूरी तरह से मैं समझता हूँ। तो आप सब लोग यहाँ पे आए और पार्टिसिपेट कर रहे हैं, और कुछ लोग और अभी ज्वाइन करेंगे। तो मैं आप सबको पुनः धन्यवाद देता हूँ और आप सबको वेलकम करता हूँ। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
धन्यवाद सर, आपका जो एनकरेजिंग जो एटीट्यूड रहता है सर, हम सभी लोगों को प्रभावित करता रहता है कि हम अच्छे से अच्छा काम करने का प्रयास करें। अब अगले कड़ी में मैं अनुरोध करूंगा डॉक्टर बनोदे सर, जो कि इस कार्यशाला के ऑर्गेनाइजिंग चेयरपर्सन हैं, वो 1 दिवसीय जो कार्यशाला हमारी जो आयोजित हो रही है उसका एक ओवरव्यू आप सब लोगों के सामने वो सबसे पहले प्रस्तुत करना चाहेंगे। सर।
गुड मॉर्निंग ऑल ऑफ यू। मैंने अपना करियर शुरू किया था धनेरिया सर के लीडरशिप में एज असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर एट आरडी मेडिकल कॉलेज उज्जैन। एंड सर के सामने बोल तो नहीं पा रहा हूँ, बट आई हैव ऑर्गेनाइज सम। So good morning everyone. On behalf of organizing team, it is my pleasure to welcome you all to this insightful workshop. We have a well-structured scenario today of the workshop designed to provide you with a comprehensive understanding of key aspects of ethics and clinical research. We will have a first session by Dr. Pugasentan sir, who will walk us through roles and responsibilities of ethics committee. Which is a crucial component in ensuring ethical compliance in research, as you all know. Following that, Dr. S.P. Dhaneria sir, my mentor, will take us deeper into study design, including clinical trial phases, an essential topic for anyone involved in clinical research. Then, after a short tea break, we will resume where Dr. Pugasentan sir again will enlighten us on good clinical practices, which are fundamental for conducting ethical and high quality research. Next, Dr. Vikas Katiara sir will discuss the informed consent document, an indispensable part of ensuring patient autonomy and in clinical trials. After this, we will break for lunch and dividing into second half of our program. And in the afternoon session, Dr. S.P. Dhaneria sir will take us through the ethical consideration in research involving human participants, a vital discussion for responsible research conduct. After this session, Dr. Pugasentan sir will guide us on roles and responsibilities of investigators and sponsors, which will be followed by a short tea break, and then Dhaneria sir will provide us insights into new drugs and clinical trial rules, key concepts of new drugs and clinical trial rules. That will be followed by an exercise session where some question answer sessions will be there, and this will be again led by a high tea and snacks. So we encourage active participation throughout the day, as this workshop aims to provide theoretical and practical insights into ethical consideration. Once again, welcome, and we look forward for an engaging and an enriching session ahead. Thank you all of you.
थैंक यू सर। जैसा आप लोगों को इस पूरी कार्यशाला का एक ओवरव्यू जैसे सर ने प्रस्तुत किया है, अब हम अपने साइंटिफिक सेशन की तरफ मूव करेंगे। तो पहला हमारा जो साइंटिफिक सेशन है, उससे पहले थोड़ा सा हम लोग अरेंजमेंट करने में हम लोगों को टाइम लगेगा। स्क्रीन्स वगैरह जो है तब तक तैयार होगी। सबसे पहला सेशन जैसे सर ने बताया कि डॉक्टर पुगासेंथान सर का होगा, और टॉपिक जो रहेगा वो है एथिकल कमिटी रोल्स एंड रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी।
आ गया सर, मेरी ट्रेन कैंसिल हो गई थी, तो कहाँ से आ गया?
आप सभी लोग के बीच आ चुके हैं। सर आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है। और सर को सम्मानित करने के लिए पहले तो हम आमंत्रित करेंगे संजय सर, कृपया प्लीज़ मंच पर आप 2 मिनट के लिए आ जाएं। और बलबीर सर को आमंत्रित करूंगा कि सर प्लीज़ सर को जो है शॉल और श्रीफल दे करके उनको सम्मानित करने की कष्ट करें सर।
This is a very important topic. Okay, why important means because how much the ethics committee is having their own autonomy and how much they are powerful in an institute, that they should know. Because most of you people will be member of any of the ethics committee, or some of the institute they may be proposing for an ethics committee registration with the government of India. So like it's not like people may think that okay, we have been selected as a member of ethics committee, it's a routine process, like as our additional responsibility in our institute we can take her like that. No, it's not at all like that. You have your own discretion and power actually. Okay, it doesn't mean that we have to put hurdle for each and every project. It doesn't mean. We should be a good facilitator for the ongoing research activities in the institute. We have to motivate the researcher. Simultaneously, we have to support the important ethical aspect with respect to their proposals. Okay, so with this I am just what should be the scope of my presentation? What is the composition of ethics committee? What is the quorum needed for running an ethics committee? What is the full quorum? What is the needed quorum for looking for any of the MD thesis or serious adverse event? What is the minimum quorum required? Then regarding the registration of the ethics committee, there are some new things happened in recent times. Okay, a little bit I will throw a light. Okay, later in the evening session there is an NDCT. What are the top-ups are there? That will be a little bit coinciding with this, but I will restrict only with the ethics committee. Roles of ethics committee members, responsibility and functions of ethics committee, what is the review procedure and what are the elements of review. Okay, these are the things, these are the scope of my presentation, and it will enlighten each and everything which a ethics committee member should be aware of. Okay, so what are the composition of ethics committee? Okay, the composition ranges between 7 to 15 members. Okay, and it should be a committee of trans or multidisciplinary or interdisciplinary like faculties or people. Okay, So 7 to 15 members, the chairperson or the chairman, medical scientist, one pharmacologist is compulsory. Okay, now there are in few of the institutes they are not having a proper pharmacologist. They are actually deputing a few pharmacologists for the functioning of their institutional ethical committee. So medical scientist, one must be a pharmacologist, and there might be any other like basic medical scientist also we can include, but one should be a medical pharmacologist. A clinician, either one or two, legal expert or retired judge one, social scientist or NGO representative. Okay, social scientist or NGO representative one, philosopher, atheist or theologian. What was it? Any of these, philosopher, atheist or theologian, wherever according to the places we have to have one member. Then lay person from the community. Okay, because this is very much important, and always there is lots of doubt arises from ethics committee. It's a lay person means what? Okay, lay person means he should not be a scientific person. Okay, because for example in AIMS Raipur, that lay person from the community is an IPS retired officer. Okay, so there was a difference in opinion happened. Whether the ICMR or any other guideline have given any qualification range for this layman person. Yes, a person who is not bearing any scientific knowledge. Okay, not from the background of science. He can be a lay person. Because there was a query happened. He is an IPS officer, he is in a very great position, and how he can be a very lay person like that. But he did his degree from BCom. So there were no relation with the scientific background. Then a member secretary. So the quorum has to have 17 to 15 members as per the feasibility and availability in that institute. So coming to the chairman, because this is another very important point, because the chairman should be outside the institute. This is highly mandated, and every ethics committee, if there is any audit, the first thing they will look into this one only. Or the chairman is outside the institute, because many of the government institute, many of the government meets directly with the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. In order to move the proposal, they will keep their head as the chairman. So in order to move. Later, like for example, if anything happens, means he will take a defensive role for the institute. So it is always mandate, and it is a must that the chairman should be from outside the institute. The member secretary should be from the institute. Okay, because he is the major convener for all the proposals, and he should know what is the culture in the institute. And he should be a person that he have the culture, and he can coordinate very nicely with the rest of the members as well as the chairman. Okay, so he should be from the institute. So a balance between medical and non-medical members, technical, non-technical, should be there in that 7 to 15 members. Okay, it should be a balanced committee. Members representing medical scientists and clinicians should mandatorily have a postgraduate qualification and adequate experience. Okay, because there are few queries that whether people who have a diploma and having wide experience can be a regular member of the committee. No, they cannot be. Okay, so this is again an important point. It has been highly stressed that they should be a postgraduate member. Ethics committee is constituted under authority of head of the institute, that is dean or principal or the director, but the head of the institute can never be the chairman of ethics committee. Okay, so please this you keep it in mind. In most of the wherever there if in future any exam also, this is a catchy question always they will ask. Okay, what are the role of the head of the institute is? He is constituting the committee. He is giving the administrative approval to form a committee for an institute. Okay, but no point that authority cannot be considered as a chairmanship. Okay, so this is a very important point. And adequate representation of age and gender. Okay, to the possible, if that 50-50 percentage, if we can able to handle with the medical and non-medical, with the male and female, it is better to have a committee like that. Whenever somebody is proposing a committee, it's better to ensure that there is a equal representation. At least 50% of the members should be non-affiliated or outside the institute. If required, subject expert may be invited to offer their views, but they don't have a voting right. what is this voting right? Okay, if there is a proposal, there was a huge discussion on a proposal, and they can, during the from the researcher point of view, the points are very appropriate, but there are difference in opinion from the committee. So there is there is 50 to 60% of the person that goes for voting. Okay, they will go for voting. If it is clearly more than 50% of the voting, it will be in the favor of researcher. Or if it is less bit, it may be go for either resubmission with the corrections, or they may ask to reject the proposal. Okay, so that voting rights is within the 7 to 15 members which has been constituted. And whenever for subject expert, for example genomics or cell culture, stem cell culture, okay, in that case we can call some of the expert for reviewing that proposal, but he cannot be an voting, he don't have the voting rights. That also we should ensure, because case to case basis only they are coming, so they cannot be considered as a permanent member and they don't have that voting role. So sir, okay, 7 to 15, whether in every instances we have to maintain the quorum. There is a range we have given. We have to, the minimum range is 7 and maximum is 15. Okay, as per the capacity of the college, as per the essentiality of the college, they can have from 7 to 15. So if I want to review some proposal on a fast track modality, or during the course of a proposal some SAA happen, so what should be the minimum quorum? I have to take a call. So minimum quorum is minimum 5 members should be there. Okay, who are that 5 members? We have to ensure. The member secretary should ensure this 5 member. Okay, who is that? Basic medical scientist, preferably a pharmacologist, then a clinician, a legal expert, or a social or NGO representative, or philosopher, or atheist, or theologist, one person, and a lay person from the community. Okay, a minimum quorum is 5, and who are they? A lay person, a theologist, a clinician, a pharmacologist, and a mandate, a legal expert. Okay, so these are the minimum quorum which is needed, where we can call for a emergency meeting, or for example in case of, because most of us we will be working on the academic clinical trial. What is that? For our MD students. So in that case they are all time bound. So we have to call for intermediate meeting also. In that case, quorum is enough to handle that situation. No clinical trial or bioavailability or bioequivalence protocol and related documents shall be reviewed by an ethics committee without fulfillment of the quorum. Okay, so this is very much important. No clinical trial or BABQ studies, they whatever we have, we should have this minimal quorum. Like we cannot say that I have consulted with the chairman, member secretary cannot say that I have consulted with the chairman and I approve. They cannot do this one. Minimum this 5 people should be there. Okay. Membership requirement. Okay, the term is around 2 to 3 years. There is we can keep on as per the need we can include, but the minimum, because we cannot keep on adding many people. Okay, so first if you are making means you have to keep that, unless otherwise there was a huge violation from the responsibilities, only we can take a call. Otherwise the term is around 2 to 3 years. And there is a policy, the ethics committee should make their own policy, okay, for removal, replacement or registration, resignation, and these policies are everything is available in ICMR guidelines, everything is there, okay, we have to adapt for our institute, that's it. The GCP training of ethics committee member is highly mandated, okay, because unless otherwise they are highly qualified or competent, they can review the protocol. Okay, so this is very much important. That is why we are conducting this GCP training, so that we will strengthen our colleague people in ethics committee and conversant with the provision of clinical trial, GCP guideline for clinical trials in India and other regulatory requirement. So that will be a part of our training also. Periodic updating of EC members. Okay, updating of EC members means that it is not replacing EC members. Whatever the new things is happening also, the member secretary has to take an initiative and he has to keep updated the information on the new things which is evolved in the country wherever we are working. Maintain confidentiality of all discussion during the meeting and declare conflict of interest. Okay, this is very much important. Whatever we are discussing within that chamber, within that room, it should be confidential. Okay.
because and this should not be unnecessarily spoken and discussed outside to come for a conclusion. If you want to discuss, you just call them as an expert person for the committee and you just discuss and over the phone, because without the consensus of any of the member, you cannot call any other people without the knowledge of the committee over the phone for other person to get some information. Okay, so because I am giving an undertaking that I am trained person in GCP everything with a confidential that EC will take over my idea everything properly, because the idea stealing also should not happen. Merely if you are discussing with somebody and somebody should not take our idea. Okay, so these are all very much important. Maintain confidentiality who are being the member of the ethics committee. So one member cannot replace the role of other member. So this is very much important. Okay, layperson, he didn't come today. So we can say that we will adjust it because there is no need like that. Because as a mandate of the quorum, we need a fight. That person cannot be replaced. Either we have to make a call, we have to postpone the meeting because that is a mandate. You cannot bypass or violate that mandate. Okay, so please be oriented with the quorum minimal requirement. SOP, Standard Operating Procedure of Ethics Committee, or most of the medical colleges, in the website only they are showing there what is the SOP. Okay, you can go into our AIMS Raipur site also, there is a like tab that the Ethics Committee and you can download, because it is as with the relevance with the GCP and as ICMR only, and everyone should have their own SOP written in their institutional setup. So it should be there and it should be displayed openly in any of the website you are maintaining. And for this we have to refer ICMR Guideline 2017, New Drugs and Clinical Trial Rule 2019, Indian GCP Guideline, ICH GCP Guideline, Declaration of Helsinki, and while preparing this SOP, we can use all those things. And now it is almost most of the institute it is already being made. It is better like if it, because most of the institute they follow all these guidelines and they would have formed. We can take it and we can go through it, and as per our need we can either include or we can modify accordingly, and we have to keep it for individual institute. SOP should be updated periodically because there are lots of draft coming, later it became the guideline, so we have to be keep on updating. Okay, because some proposal is coming and if you are keeping the old guideline, and again we are at best mistake to approve any project. Okay, so we have to update it periodically. Print and soft copy of SOP should be available in Ethics Committee office as well as the institute website. Okay, so this we have to ensure. Registration of the Ethics Committee. So it is high mandate after 2013. Okay, so no Ethics Committee shall review and accord its approval to a clinical trial protocol without prior registration with the licensing authority. Who is the licensing authority? DCGA, Director DCGA, and the office is CDSEO. Okay, so with that we have to properly make our registration. So this is a rule 122DD, third amendment and DNC rules 2013 Gazette notification which came in 8th February 2013, stress of the fact that it has to be mandatory registered. And what's new? Okay, 2013 ke baad, so we are registering. Is there anything new happened regarding the registration? Yes. What is that? There are two separate ethics committee. Okay, but whether it is feasible or possible, that is second. Okay, but at least the same quorum with inclusion of 1 or 2 members we can register, because it is a leniency for a government institute that the same members we can have it for both the committee. Okay, because they know the crunching faculty availability, so that flexibility is given for government institutes. Okay, and not only government institute, all the actively working medical college setups or institute, they are giving that approval. What is this two separate ethics committee? Ethics committee for clinical trial, bioavailability, bioequivalence. Okay, so that should be an ethics committee because it is dealing with all regulatory trial. Okay, their requirement, everything has to be very seriously seen. Okay, because the first time the drug is entering into the market, we are putting the people under pressure, under risk. So there should be a vigilant monitoring of the data. Okay, so that is taken care by the ethics committee for clinical trials. Another thing is ethics committee for biomedical and health research. What we routinely do in our hospital or medical college setup. Okay, most of the community medicine studies, most of the observational studies, these can be entered in both the clinical ethics committee also, or mostly biomedical. What we are doing at the level of MBBS, MD, DM, it will be coming under this. Okay, so please be ensure that there are two types of ethics committee, and it is mandated by every institute. As per their need, they have to get it registered. So this is as per the new drugs clinical trials 2019, and institution desire of conducting biomedical and health research as well as clinical trial or bioavailability or bioelectricity shall require obtaining registration from specified authorities. Who are these authorities? This is for easy summary. Okay, for ethics committee for clinical trials, who is the registering authority is DCGI. Okay, DCGI. And for biomedical and health research, it is Department of Health Research. If you are looking at the ICMR portal, you will get this detail. Department of Health Research. Validation of registration, if it is the ethics committee for clinical trials, because most of the institute, most of our hospital setup, it will be registered under EC for CT. Okay, everyone have that 5 years registration validity. Okay, so it is a 5 years final registration of the verification of the document. If it is for biomedical and health research, initially they will, provisionally it is initially, later it became a 5 years registration policy. Renewal of registration, 90 days prior to date of expiry of final registration. This we have to ensure 3 months before we should initiate the process of further renewal. 90 days prior to the date of expiry of final registration in the case of the Department of Health Research also. Information to be submitted by an applicant for grant of registration of ethics committee. Table 1, new clinical trial rule 2019. This was taken from there, and we have to ensure that, and even for example in future if you are going to give some MCQs or question banks, we have to ensure this point also whenever we are going to conduct, because it is highly mandated now. In AIMS Rajpur also we have both the ethics committee registered under Department of Health Research as well as the DCGI. Okay. So what are the role of ethics committee members? What is our role? Mainly subject protection. Okay. Finding something is not the role of ethics committee. Ethics, okay, safety of the patient or the participant. So safety, rights and well-being is the main primary role of all the ethics committee, and the people or the members of the ethics committee should ensure whether this aspect has been protected or not whenever you are reviewing any of the protocol. Chairperson. Okay. So I am coming to individual role. So what a chairperson do? He is first of all non-affiliated to the institute, should be outside from the institute. He should conduct the ethics committee meeting. Okay. Accountable for independent and efficient functioning of the committee, ensures quorum and fair decision making, ensure active participation of each member, helps to reach consensus and to take the final call for the protocol, take decision for expedited review, and he is the signing authority. Whenever, for example, if you are getting that ethics committee approval, there will be two sides. One is member secretary, another is chairperson of the ethics committee. So he is the signing authority. So he should, like, member secretary and chairman, more or less their roles are more or less same, only defined. And since the chairman is outside the institute, like the member secretary, to ensure that everything is on table. Okay, he should ensure. Okay. So member secretary is affiliated to the institute where the ethics committee is there. He receives, prepare, circulate and maintain each proposal for review. Okay. So what member secretary will do, he will make a circular for the internally. Okay. So the next day ethics committee meeting is going to happen so date. Kindly all submit your proposal in the standard format before so date. Like that he will be circulating the information, and he will be the person who will get collecting the material, and he is the person who will communicate this proposal to rest of the ethics committee member well in advance. Meeting is for making a consensus and making a decision only. Okay. Well, because many of the places what they are saying, we are not informed. We were given only 10 proposal, but you are displaying 20 proposal here. Because hurry we cannot do within 1 or 2 hours review proposal over there. Okay, so he should be well informed and well communicating with the rest of the members, and he should be sharing the material properly. Ensure completeness of the document and timely inclusion in agenda for the easy review. See, this is very, very much important. Okay. See, because I already told you that the member secretary is the bridge between everybody. And he should also, he is from the same institute. He should be a facilitator for their colleague. Okay. If there is any deficiency of document, he can call them back and he can advise them, please complete this. These are the information lacking. Because without that, if a conclusion is obtained with, that is actually unethical. Okay. Access the need for expedited review or exemption from the review or full review. Okay. Whenever somebody is submitting as per the proposals, he can take a call and he can make a decision which are the things can be taken for the full review or it can be accepted. He has to make a first preliminary decision. Schedule EC meeting, prepare the agenda and minutes of the meeting. He ensures adherence of EC functioning to the standard operating procedure and is regular updating. He ensures training of the ethics committee members, and he should ensure that the records are kept properly and overall administration, and finally he is also a signing authority along with the chairman. Okay, so these are like it is a huge responsibility of the member secretary that each and everything, as a researcher, as an ethics committee member, safety of the patient, but regarding the documentation, it is purely him who should be the custodian for the documents. Clinician, he can be affiliated or non-affiliated to the institute, and he must have a postgraduate qualification. He must have a postgraduate qualification. He provides, or he or she provides clinical inputs on the protocol, informed consent form as well as other documents. So that is their role, because a researcher may not be expertise in this area, but he might be taking with a co-investigator from that concerned specialty. So a clinician should look into again his role is safety aspect and rest of the ethical things with relevant to the protocol. What is the scientific review of the protocol? What are the things he as a clinician will see? He can see a research design methodology, inclusion exclusion criteria. What is the intervention? What is the placebo being used? Drug dosing, or is there any prohibited medications? What is the standard of care that proposal contains, and what is the guideline speaks? What is the medical care for particular disease? Facility and appropriateness of the principal investigator, and SAE and compensation. Because I told there is a quorum of 5 members. This quorum only used for making SAE subcommittee also. Okay, whenever a clinical trial is started and in between there was serious adverse event, again they will call for a subcommittee meeting on SAE with the principal investigator. There is the important role of a clinician. So their role is very much needed in that area. And that quorum, that clinician, without that SAE like a decision should not be made. Next is basic medical scientist. As I already told you that one of the major person is the pharmacologist. He can be affiliated or not affiliated to the institute. He should be a postgraduate. He should have a postgraduate qualification. What is a basic medical scientist will do as an ethics committee member. Same like a clinician. Okay, there are other area where he is already trained for, a pharmacologist. What are they? Investigator, brochure. Okay, first thing is intervention, research and design, risk benefit analysis and statistics, what the protocol contains. Investigator's brochure is very much important. He should see that all the things are updated. Review of pre-clinical data. This information brochure also contains that information. Okay, pre-clinical data or any clinical data, any studies done with respect to the proposed research in the institute. Lab procedure, use of biological samples, or there a scope of protocol deviation, or during any time they can review the protocol, and they should ensure what is the qualification of the PI, whether they are GCP certified, and they should see in the case of if it is a subcommittee quorum, they have to see the details of serious adverse events and reporting time limit from the PI, review progress and completion report. All these things are a part of a basic medical scientist, and mainly the pharmacologist into the picture. For clinical trials, pharmacologist to review the drug safety and pharmacodynamics is a mandate. Okay, so our role, it's not like that we have to restrict with a certain area. We can have our role in multiple area, and most of the time, most of the ethics committee, because recently one of the ma'am from KEM Mumbai, she have come, she had told that the whole committee is relying what the pharmacologist will say. Okay, they are very confident that the pharmacologist will give a good lead to come up with a solution. So we have to make ourselves competent enough to guide the whole ethics committee to come for a decision making. Next is legal expert. This is so much important, legal expert. Okay, either he can be affiliated or non-affiliated to the institute. Mostly it will be a non-affiliated only. Okay, many institute, because we don't have the criteria of having some legal. Yes, institute have, but they have their own occupancy. So most of the ethics committee, the legal experts are from outside. Basic degree in law from a recognized university with experience. What is the role of this legal expert? He should know, or he should see the document, whether it protects the participant rights, review legal documents, opinion on compensation, ethical review of the proposal, that is informed consent document, whether it was containing all the information which will create some risk for the patient, along with the translations, MOU. Okay, because that is very much important, because that is a legal document. Okay, clinical trial agreement, and this is the major area. This clinical trial agreement is a major area which is going to save the investigator more than a patient. Okay, so clinical trial agreement, regulatory approval, insurance document. Okay, whenever we are conducting clinical trial, our eye should go for the insurance document. Okay, this is also, please keep in mind, insurance document, and other site approval, researchers undertaking, protocol specific, other permissions. So all this, wherever we feel there is a party, 2-3 parties are involved, there comes the legal arbitration. Okay, so he has to be very much oriented with these areas. And okay, 50% of the legal expert, they know all this, insurance they know, and whichever they are at risk, these things they know. But research related injuries, they are not aware. That is why whenever we are training an ethics committee for GCP or ethics, it is always requested the legal expert of that ethics committee can attend the training. Okay, because there are many new things they have to come up. Okay, so confidentiality and dispute resolution, he is going to be the expert, updated with the regulatory requirement, interpretation of the same, because that we have to guide him. Actually, these are the things we have to guide him. Okay, legal expert, I told already, insurance document and indemnity. These two things are a very important document. Okay, these two things, indemnity as well as insurance document. If you are going to take up any pharmaceutical clinical trial, if any of the investigator is going to do, kindly please ensure that whether the insurance is within the period, or whether it is going to get expired or expired. Insurance, indemnity document. Okay, as a part of clinical trial agreement, there is a clause that indemnity, because this is what it is going to save the investigator, because every time ethics committee role is to save the safety of the participant. Also simultaneously, we also should have a responsibility. The ethics committee should also look into, it should not damage any of the investigators also. Okay, we should be both the way, patient as well as investigators. Okay, so insurance, it should cover the participant for injury due to all clauses mentioned, check validity of the insurance, countries for which the policy provides cover, liability limit per person as well as for the total. All these things should be a component of a insurance document. Indemnity, it covers the liability of investigator as well as the sponsor, could be a part of the clinical trial agreement or a separate document. Most of the time it is a part of a CTA only, clinical trial agreement. Social scientist, philosopher, ethist or theologian. Okay, so this is actually what to say, because there are certain researchers we cannot involve many people, or there might be a cultural taboo will be there, or it may not be a risk in a particular community or a particular religion. So in order to ensure the balance, that is why multiple slash was given, because if I want to use some of the religion means, accordingly I can call a person, okay, father or a nun accordingly. So it is our discretion for what proposal. See, you cannot, individual proposal wise you cannot call each and everybody. So the member secretary should ensure what are the most commonest vulnerable protocol outcome. Accordingly, we have to fix a person in that locality. For example, Chhattisgarh, Raipur. Okay, most of vulnerable people are tribal people there. So we always seek for a person from that representation. Okay, so it is case case to case, place to place discretion to have the people for this. So what is there? They will see from a community perspective. They don't have a scientific things. I will see if I am there, what will happen for me, or my rights are pulled out. Like that, they will look into. So it is a community perspective. What they could do, ethical review of proposal. They will say how they are going to recruit the people, or they are going to give some money, or they are going to say I am going to give some free treatment, like that. How they are going to recruit the people, like that. From the community perspective, they are going to assess the conduct. Informed consent document and process, impact on the community involvement, vulnerable population, post-trial access to the involved community, compensation and confidentiality. So these are the component of this ethics or social scientists. They should look into this aspect, and again they are not well trained people. It is again the role of a member secretary. He should, this proposal has these things, then accordingly the inputs has to be got from you. Okay, so because we don't know, even we are highly qualified people, but still we are lacking many of the information. If somebody is guiding, we can later we are just catching those information. So these people also should be trained. So whenever you people in future is going to train an ethics committee, ensure that all the members, including everyone, is sitting here or not, so that a few information can be passed to them. Okay. Lay person not affiliated to the institute. He is a literate person from the community. So this is what I have told. I told that a retired IPS officer, he is a literate person, but he is from that community. Aware of the local language. Okay, so this is the lay person, the definition we can say. Things from the subject perspective. Okay, social scientist or ethicist community perspective. How this study is going to benefit the whole community. He will look into the individual perspective. Okay, because before joining AIMS Raipur, I was working in a leprosy institute, Central Leprosy Teaching and Research Institute. The ethics committee contains the lay person. That lay person is from the leprosy community, because next to that institute there was one village where cured leprosy patients were there. So one lay person was taken from there. Okay, because most of the researchers in that leprosy institute will be for leprosy people. So they should see from their perspective how I will be benefited, how my children will be benefited who is affected by leprosy. So this is how they will pursue the things. So things from the subject perspective brings in ethical societal consent during review. That is informed consent document, its translation and IC process, risk and benefit from the patient perspective, no exploitation of the subject. Okay, because why I took the example of leprosy again means many of the NGO like outside India, because they have been funded, they have money for leprosy like anything. So they will used to come. But that was a village, that same person will be involved in another trial. Okay, unnecessary exploitation, because if the person is from their community, their person is there, no sir, इसका पहले भी ये एक trial पे चल रहा है, so इसको मना करना है, so he will give some feedback. So unnecessary exploitation won't happen. Okay, so that is important. Trial procedure, post trial access, design of the trial, whether it is a discomfort for the patient or it is going to support for the patient, compensation, and he should keep everything as a confidential things whenever he is sitting in that quorum. Okay. So responsibilities. Okay. What are the responsibilities of an ethics committee? So we have told the individual members ka role. Now we are coming to as a committee what is our responsibility? To ensure that research projects that are carried out are soundly designed and conducted according to the ICMR or new clinical trial rule or GCP guideline and declaration of hesitancy. Do not compromise right, safety, autonomy and benefit of the patient or volunteers and the study participants. They are all conducted under the supervision of a trained medical or biomedical persons. Include solely patients or participants who have given voluntary and informed consent. So these things everything the ethics committee members should ensure. Okay, the document contains everything, the PA is qualified, he has a very good experience in this, there is no major risk for the patient, it is going to benefit the patient, and if there is any risk, it is going to take care by the principal investigator as well as the co-investigator for the free medications, and their volunteers, the consent, there was no hidden agenda in the consent, everything they will be ensuring. So finally, what is the function of the ethics committee? So what is the function? What do all we are doing? To review all the research projects involving human beings, to provide independent, competent and timely review of the ethical aspects of all the proposed studies before its commencement, to ensure that all the cardinal principles of research ethics, namely autonomy, beneficence, non-maleficence as well as justice are taken care. 4 pillars of ethics. We have to see. We have to put a lens and we have to check whether all these 4 things are checked. To monitor research studies periodically. To examine complaints with all regulatory requirement, applicable guidelines and laws, we have to check whether it is a updated thing. And in case of serious adverse events, analyze and forward report with its opinion to the licensing authority within 30 days. So this ethics committee should ensure, they should keep in their mind, I have given the approval for study, whether the study is, it is the role of the principal investigator to regularly give the report, progress report. Simultaneously, it is the role of the principal investigator to immediately report to the ethics committee regarding the SAE. As soon as SAE has been reported, it is the member secretary, he has to call for the quorum and he has to finish the discussion in a stipulated time, and a proper decision document has to be sent to the DCGI within 30 days. This they have to ensure. One of the Gazette notification which came in 2021, okay, 2021 says that there is no scope of offline submission of SAE. Okay, it is all the ethics committee should be registered with the Sugam portal. Okay, all the communication should be happen only online. So there is no scope of SAE reporting to the CDSE mode or licensing authority in offline mode. It is only online mode. Get it registered with the Sugam portal. Even the ethics committee details also should be registered with the Sugam portal only. Okay, please ensure that Sugam portal. Another, to decide the compensation of the study related to injury, death or payment for the participation, to record the reason for revoking of approval according. So if the ethics committee feels that there is a huge violation with the principal investigator, what he has given in the protocol, he had deviated, the ethics committee can give one warning for the principal investigator that there are lots of deviations, can you look into it. If still repeatedly they are going to do, they can revoke the approval. They can revoke the approval for the principal investigator and they can communicate to the sponsor also. Okay. To communicate authority, either the DCHR or Department of Health Research, as per the need of the study, as per the guideline updated periodically, and to maintain all the records related to the study. So little about the review procedure. What ethics committee to review? So the chairman conduct the meeting. Okay, he conduct the meeting. The member secretary, he called the organization of meeting. He organized with each body and they will get the time appointment and he will organize the meeting. Communication to IEC members, preparation of agenda items and minutes approved by the chairman, signed by the chairman and member secretary. Okay, so minutes of the meeting is highly mandated. As soon as every meeting is over, the minute should be made within 24 to 48 hours. It is better, best. Okay, so that if there is any other consensus deviation, we can be able to correct it. So review process or review procedure of the research proposal. What is research proposal submission to the ethics committee after research cell or scientific committee? So this is another, because institutional, some of the institute it is IRB, institutional review board. They will look both the research proposal and they will approve it. But most of the setup there is a separate research committee. They will approve the scientific aspect of the study and it will be put up to the institutional ethical committee IEC. And here there is always the issues will happen because there is always a fight between I have reviewed the protocol, how you can once again reviewing the protocol, you have to see only the 4 pillars. Why are you again going into the study design? No, you should not. If the ethics committee feels that there is some risk for the patient, I will look back the study design, I will look back the sample size. So because this argument happened, because the research committee is also people with the intellectuals, and it is like it should not be ego between the two committee. Okay, so this also we should keep in mind. Ethics committee always can have at any point intervene at any level, which is approved by the research committee for the safety of the patient. So this point also keep in mind. And screening of proposals for completeness. So if there is a non-complete or incomplete bid, we have to we can ask the principal investigator. Decision on research proposal in a meeting only, not by circulation of proposal. Okay, I have sent the proposal for circulation for reviewing it, but a decision has to be made in the committee, because we have to give a sufficient time for the every member to understand what is in that proposal. Because you are giving 4 or 5 proposal means they have to work on that proposal. But after that, the same day the proposal will be discussed one by one. Later the decision has to be made there, because I will get the email approval. I sent the proposal, he approved the content of the study by the email. During the time of COVID, it was flexible little, but again we should not get any circulation approval. It has to be in the most of the times in the offline, and it should be in the discussion forum only. Types of review, like the